Welcome friends to another FlutterFlow tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be implementing a one-time PIN login where the user will be able to request for a one-time PIN which will be sent to their email and they will be able to sign in without the need for a password at all. Thank you to Rocky0 for this video idea of an OTP login using FlutterFlow and Supabase. I think it's a really cool function that has a lot of use cases in the real world, seeing how we can implement this function now. Over here, I have the base project, which consists of a home page, a one-time PIN login page, as well as a register page. And it also consists of the one-time PIN component over here. I have put a link to clone this base project in the description below, so just click on that link. You can set up the project, clone that project, and you can follow along with this tutorial together with me as well. Alright, so let's get into it right now. The first thing that you'll note after you clone this project is that we have two errors over here, and these two errors are due to Supabase not being set up yet in our project. So let's just quickly link our FlutterFlow project to our Supabase project. Over here, I have just recently set up a simple Supabase project. Once you set up your Supabase project, on the left hand side over here, we'll go to project settings, and under configuration, we'll click on API. And we'll copy this project URL and we'll go to settings and integrations and scroll down under Supabase. We'll copy and paste the API URL and we'll also copy and paste this anon key into the key over here. And lastly, we'll get schema to link our FlutterFlow project to our Supabase project. So you should see that the errors are now gone. Now let's go back to our Supabase dashboard and we have to go to authentication. And under configuration, we'll go to providers and you want to make some changes to this email provider over here. So just click that and you want to toggle this confirm email and secure email change off, and we'll just save this over here. Next, we'll go to email templates and we'll go to this magic link option over here. Let's change the subject heading for our email to your OTP sign in. Scroll down and for this header, instead of magic link, we will change it to OTP sign in. And instead of follow this link to login, we'll just switch it to enter this OTP to log in. And instead of this, we'll replace this with this bracket token over here, which represents the 6-digit numeric email OTP. So copy and paste that token over here. Once we're done, we can scroll down and click on save. And we also can have a preview of our email, of how it looks. So the email will have a heading of this, and then you'll have text of this as well as this, which will be replaced by the actual token itself. So that's all we have to do for the Supabase portion. Now let's go back to our FlutterFlow project. And now let's work on the OTP login functionality. Alright, so in order to implement the OTP functionality, we would have to write some custom code. So on the left hand side column over here, we'll go to the custom code menu and we want to add some custom actions over here. But don't worry, I've already taken the liberty to write the custom code and figure out all the custom code so that you don't have to write any line of code. You just have to copy and paste. So I've already put a link to my GitHub down below in the description. You can just click on the GitHub link and you should be sent to this repository over here. And it would contain all the code for our custom actions. Back in our FlutterFlow dashboard, we want to add 3 custom actions. The first custom action will be the check auth custom action. So in the GitHub repository, you can just copy and paste the whole thing into your FlutterFlow custom action. So just replace everything. And we can name this action check auth. And we'll save the action and just click on yes. We can add the other 2 actions as well. So the next action is the confirm OTP action. Once again, just copy and paste the whole thing into the FlutterFlow action. And we'll name this action confirm OTP. Then just save the action. And do this exact same thing for the last action, which is the get OTP action. And the name, we'll just replace it with get OTP. Then we'll click on save. You can see that over here we have some warnings. If you just click the warnings, it says that custom code widgets have not been checked yet. So to get rid of the warnings, you just click on the warning. And now FlutterFlow will check our functions and we should see that the warnings are gone now. So now that we have implemented our custom code actions, we can go back to our widget tree and we can implement them right now. So just click on the Get OTP button and open the Action Flow editor. And we want to add a few actions now. Firstly, you can search for custom and we want to add our custom actions, the Get OTP action, so that this action sends the OTP to the user's email. And under the email argument over here, it will be widget state and the text field where the user enters their email. And after we get the email, we want to add another action. And now we want to show an alert dialog. We want to show our custom dialog, and this dialog will be the OTP component. Now let's quickly move over to our OTP component over here. Let's work on the cancel button first. So whenever the user presses this cancel button, we want to add the action. We want to add the action to close the dialog. So just click on close dialog or draw etc. So whenever the user presses this cancel button, you just close this enter pin below. And now for the verify code button, we will open the action flow editor once again and we'll add an action. And for this, we'll add our custom action to confirm our OTP. For the token, we'll give it the value of the pin code that the user enters under widget state. And for the email, we will have to pass this through a component parameter. So we have to create a new component parameter, and the name will be email as well. So we'll just click on confirm. And this confirm OTP action also gives us a Boolean value. It returns a Boolean value of either true or false, which represents whether we have successfully signed in or not. So we'll just give it an action output variable name of is successful. So now we want to add a condition, and this condition will be a single condition, and you want to check if our action output of is successful is equal to true. So if the user has entered the correct pin, then we want to close the dialog. But if the user has not entered the right pin, then we want to give them an alert message, an alert dialog, which will be a confirmational dialog. For the title, let's just give it incorrect OTP. And for the message, let's type you have entered an incorrect OTP. Please try again. For the dismiss text, we'll just leave it as OK. And one last thing that we want to add is we want to add another action, which is to clear the pin code so that the user will be able to enter the pin code again. And we'll select our pin code widget over here. And that's it for our verify code button. So now we'll go back to our OTP login page, and we'll go back to our get OTP button. And for under the second action, we have to pass a parameter into our OTP component. since we just created one, a component parameter. And this email parameter will give it the value of the widget state, and it will be the email text field. We also have to add one more action, which is our custom action. Our last custom action is the check auth action. And this check auth action checks for whether the user is signed in or not. If the user is successfully signed in, it will return a boolean of true. If not, it will return false. So for this action output variable name, let's just give it is signed in. And now we will add a condition. For the condition, it will be a single condition, and we will check if our action output is signed in boolean is equal to true. So if the user has successfully signed in, then we want to navigate to our home page. If not, we won't navigate anywhere and we'll just allow the user to remain over here. And for this navigate to home page, we don't want to allow back navigation, so we'll just click that toggle to be false. Alright, and that's all we have to do. And our OTP functionality has been set up. It's that easy with FlutterFlow and Supabase. So let's try testing it out right now. Alright, so test mode has just loaded up. First, let's just create an account first. And for this email, you have to use an existing email that you have access to. So it has to be a real email so that you will be able to get your one-time PIN email message. For the password, it can be any password, it doesn't matter. And once we have successfully signed in with our email account, we'll just sign out first. And now under the login page, we'll enter that same email that we have. And when we press get OTP, it should take a while to load. And once it's done loading, you should have this pop up to enter your PIN over here. Now what we want to do is we want to go to the email address that you just entered. And you should receive an email by Supabase containing the information of your OTP in order to sign into your app. So we'll just copy and paste this OTP into our app, or you can manually enter it as well. And now when you press verify code, you should see that you are successfully signed in to the home page now. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you found it useful and are now able to implement an OTP login functionality seamlessly into your FlutterFlow apps using a Supabase database. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned for that.